In this episode of Thriving with Claudia, I'm going to talk about banishing burnout mode. And if you are an adult juggling a lot, you might be experiencing signs of burnout. Back 6 years ago, I was parenting 3 kids. I had just come out of my master's program. I had started a new career as an assistant principal and was also helping my husband manage his business. And I felt like I was on a hamster wheel and I didn't know how to get off. I was trying to accomplish a lot, but I was feeling extremely burnt out. It was affecting a lot of things. It was affecting my energy levels. It was affecting my relationships. It was affecting my happiness. And I thought to myself, I love everything I'm doing, but I feel like I'm burning the candle at both ends. So if that is you, if you feel like you're burning the candle at both ends, I hope this video brings you some great tips that you can incorporate to get out of that burnout mode and start living a life probably just as accomplished, but feeling a lot better about it. And so the hope here is the message is you can feel better. You don't have to burn the candle at both ends and eventually fizzle out yourself. So my first tip in this is that you don't have to look at change as all or nothing. When I was on that hamster wheel, I felt like I either I had to overhaul a lot to make change, and then I would get overwhelmed with where to start, and so I didn't change anything. And we all know that if you're not changing anything, you're not going to change your results. And that hamster wheel kept on going for years, as a matter of fact. And I just felt constantly like, oh, I need to change something, but I wouldn't change anything because I felt like I would have to do something major, like change careers, or my kids move out of the house, or big things that I knew weren't going to happen. I was just starting my career as an assistant principal. My kids were just in their late elementary, middle school years, and I didn't think that anything could change, and so I changed nothing. So my first tip for you is I'm going to give you some tips that you can incorporate, and I just want you to know that it's not about overhauling everything in one fell swoop. It's not about making all these changes at once. As a matter of fact, trying to make a lot of changes at once is a recipe for failure most times, because you will get overwhelmed, you will give up, and you will go back to the old habits that you have been used to. All right, so that's tip number 1. Don't look at it as all or nothing. It's going to be about making small changes that you can sustain and slowly build yourself out of it. All right, number 2, audit your time. Take a look at your time. Our time is so precious, and it's really important to sit down and write out what a typical day looks like for you, and do it on paper. I mean, you might know what your day looks like, but writing it down is very helpful. And you will find pockets of time that are not being utilized, or that again are being utilized on things that aren't as important as you may think. So it's really important to look at your time. I was spending an hour to 2 every evening just scrolling social media as a wind down time, and that time didn't really do much for me. It really was, we think of those things as like that Netflix time and as wind down time, but ultimately it could have been much better utilized for better purposes. So look at your time and make sure you know what your day looks like every day. Once you have your time audited, you want to look at how you can, number 3, get help. We try, especially women, to be so independent and do everything on our own. And even if you are single and you do not have a significant other, a spouse, children, you still have a community and friends, and you need to make sure that you are not trying to go about life completely alone and doing it all yourself. You might feel embarrassed to ask for help. You might feel like it's a sign that you don't have it together. But it is absolutely the opposite. It takes great strength to ask for help and to get people to contribute to a common goal. If you do have a family, a spouse, and children, they can absolutely help you with managing the home and managing the responsibilities of the home, which obviously for women, often we take the brunt of that responsibility, from the cooking to the cleaning to the grocery shopping. Those are things that in this modern age, we need to be spreading the wealth on. I grew up in a house where my parents did enforce weekly chores, and for some reason, at the time when I was really burnt out, I really was realizing that my kids were old enough to start to contribute to that, and they needed to start to contribute because that was part of a successful home. It's not just all on mom's shoulders, and so delegating, getting help with the basic things. Getting help from your spouse, sitting down and having a meaningful conversation about where you're at, and looking at how you together can attack the responsibilities more effectively, more efficiently, and more fairly is absolutely critical. If you just have girlfriends or friends, think about how you can partner up with another person on some things. If you're a single mother, for example, partner up with another single mom where you take turns having your children on a Saturday to give the other mom that opportunity to have that adult alone time to take care of things that they don't seem to get. So again, just some ideas. Again, everybody's situation is unique, but you do need to be thinking about how can you delegate some responsibilities, how can you get help, who is in your network, who can help you, how can you come up with ways to get help that maybe don't involve money. All right, number 4 is flipping the script on prioritizing yourself. For the longest time, I put kids first, career second, husband third, myself last. And I was absolutely feeling so run down and exhausted on a regular basis. And I felt guilty about putting my wellness and time for myself as a priority, to putting that first. I didn't feel like I had the time to go to yoga regularly, or to invest in some time, exercise for myself, or even quiet meditation. And, a lot of us moms end up hiding in the bathroom or hiding in our car to get that little bit of time. And we do that not enough. And so a huge aspect of what I was able to flip for myself was changing my belief around prioritizing me first. And that is not, I shouldn't feel guilty about that it's an absolute essential for me to be a better mother, a better principal, a better wife, was for me putting my health and that's not just that's my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health first, instead of if there's time at the end of all the other lists of things to do. That was huge for me. And it's not about overhauling everything. It can start with just taking a little bit of time each day to do something for you. And that leads me to my last tip, and that is time blocking. We can feel like time races by us, right? Every day, my goal by the end of the day is to be able to go, okay, I got a lot accomplished today and I did a lot, but I really enjoyed that 30 minutes of just this for me. Even if it's just 30 minutes, even if it's just 15 minutes, carve out that time for something that truly brings joy to your heart, so that at the end of every day, you can feel like you've lived that part of your life, and you're not waiting to do those things until your kids move out or your career is over, right? So I hope these tips help at least get you started thinking and stopping that hamster wheel just for a moment, and think about one of those ideas, one of those things that you can put action behind right away, that you're not gonna keep running on that hamster wheel without making any changes. What one small tweak to your life can you make right now to start to reclaim your vitality, your health, your well-being, your joy, while still accomplishing all of your goals and responsibilities that you have. You're a go-getter, I'm sure. You're a hustler, I'm sure. But we don't want to hustle and grind ourselves into the ground. We want to hustle and thrive along the way. That is how you will create longevity in all of your responsibilities and all of your roles. You'll continue to be that amazing wife, spouse, mother, friend, business owner. All of those things you will be better at, and you will feel better about yourself and your personal joy in the day by making sure that you aren't grinding yourself into the ground, that you're not burning that candle at both ends for too long. So thanks so much. If you have more questions, if you enjoyed this content, please subscribe, please follow, send me a message. You can find me on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and LinkedIn. And I look forward to sharing more with you about wellness overall. And if you have any questions, leave them